It started with the walls, thin, cheap, apartment walls that carried every sound like whispers through a confession booth. Every night, around the same time, the peace shattered. Moans. Giggles. Bed creaks. And in that small, two-bedroom apartment, one roommate's patience was wearing thinner than the drywall separating their rooms. If you've ever lived with someone who thinks the world revolves around them, if you've ever clenched your fists because someone's disrespect just wouldn't stop, then you're about to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most hilariously satisfying roommate revenge stories ever told. The apartment wasn't big. 2 bedrooms, 1 shared living room, and a bathroom that smelled faintly of cheap shampoo and lavender candles. Sarah, a 26-year-old grad student, had moved in 3 months ago, thinking she'd found the perfect place to balance her chaotic academic life with a little peace. Her roommate, Lila, seemed fun at first, bright, flirty, and endlessly energetic. But that energy came with visitors. Male visitors. At first, it was occasional, a night or two, nothing unbearable. But soon, it became a ritual. Every night, Sarah would crawl into bed, pull her blanket up to her chin, and pray for silence. Instead, the silence was replaced by rhythmic thuds against the wall, laughter, and the kind of noises no one wants to hear when they're trying to study. The first time it happened, Sarah turned up her podcast. The second time, she shoved her pillow over her ears. By the 5th night, she sat upright in bed, eyes wide open, jaw clenched, whispering into the dark. "Are you serious right now?" Weeks passed. Nothing changed. Sarah tried to drop hints, casually mentioning how thin the walls are, or how she barely sleeps these days. Lila just laughed it off. "Oh, sorry. We'll keep it down next time," she'd say, before not keeping it down at all. The final straw came one Friday night. Sarah had invited 2 close friends over, Mia and Theo. They'd planned a quiet night, movies, pizza, and wine. The mood was light, the laughter real, until it happened. A muffled moan cut through the sound of the TV. Then another. Theo's eyes widened. Mia nearly choked on her drink. "Oh my God!" Mia whispered, stifling a laugh. Theo just muttered, "Is that happening right now?" Sarah's face burned red with embarrassment. Her friends pretended not to notice, but the room filled with awkward silence. And then, the unmistakable headboard rhythm began. The laughter from the other room grew louder, like a cruel soundtrack to Sarah's humiliation. That's when something inside her snapped. At first, it was a joke. Theo whispered, "You should start barking or something. Fight noise with noise." Mia giggled. "Or moo. Like a cow. Make it weird enough, they'll stop." Sarah's eyes flickered, from irritation to inspiration. Her lips curled into the kind of grin only revenge can draw. She grabbed her phone, opened YouTube, and typed, "Animal Sounds Compilation." Within seconds, the living room was filled with an orchestra of chaos: dogs barking, roosters crowing, cats yowling, and cows mooing in perfect disharmony. Theo howled like a wolf. Mia screeched like a parrot. And Sarah, sweet, quiet Sarah, joined in with a fierce "M.O." so loud it made her friends double over laughing. From the other room, silence. Then a confused voice. "Babe, what the hell is that?" Sarah paused the sounds. Everyone froze. And then, just as Lila's bed started creaking again, Sarah hit play, maximum volume. A chorus of goats bleated through the paper-thin walls. This time, there was no mistaking it. The noises from Lila's room stopped instantly. For a moment, the apartment was silent, almost too silent. Sarah's friends collapsed into hysterical laughter, clutching their sides. Theo gasped, "Bro, she's never doing that again." Minutes later, Lila's door opened. She appeared in the hallway, wrapped in a blanket, her hair messy and her face crimson. She shot Sarah a glare that could cut glass. What the hell was that? She demanded. Sarah tilted her head, feigning innocence. Oh, you heard that? Sorry, must have been the animal kingdom having a party. Mia snorted. Theo lost it. Lila rolled her eyes, muttered something under her breath, and stormed back into her room. But the next sound Sarah heard wasn't another creak or moan. It was silence. Beautiful, uninterrupted, liberating silence. For the first time in weeks, Sarah slept soundly, her lips curling into a small, victorious smile. The next morning, Lila avoided eye contact. The air was thick with unspoken tension, but also respect. From that day forward, her late-night activities vanished. Sarah didn't gloat. She didn't need to. Sometimes revenge doesn't need to be cruel, just creative. If you've ever wanted to clap back at a disrespectful roommate without saying a word, you know exactly how satisfying that must have felt. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this story, and tell us in the comments. What's your most creative revenge idea for a noisy neighbor or roommate? And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life Reddit revenge stories, where karma always finds a way.